We want to create innovative environments within our organisations. I'd like to know what each of you are doing to deliver this. Perhaps Susanna can start with you. So what are you doing, or what is DMCC doing to deliver this culture of innovation?
Well, there's actually three elements to our initiative on innovation. So the first element is our employees. And we have a top-down and a bottom-up approach there. So the top-down approach is that we have a leadership academy that all our leaders are going through. So we have the free zone, the commodities, and the property streams to DMCC, and everybody is going through the leadership academy together, because we will be stronger together and have to ensure that our leaders have the right tools as well as capabilities to continue to have that sustained competitive advantage. We also have the grassroots up on our employees, which is things like having our employees having a voice, and that's done through an ideas management system.
Is that what in the old days might have been a suggestion scheme?
Yes, suggestion scheme. So we find that 25% of the ideas that are put forward are viable ideas that are considered to then be implemented, and we ensure that the employees who come up with the ideas are then on the project team to then implement those changes. And it's currently in the free zone, and it has allowed our employees who are working with our clients, our member companies every day, to make that whole client experience better. And that brings me on to the second stream of our innovation, and that is our member companies. So we've recently launched an suggestion scheme, as you say, ideas management for our member companies, of whom we have 13,000 member companies. So you can imagine the number of ideas that could be generated from there.
So DMCC is a free zone, so your member companies, that's essentially your customers, is it?
Yes, yes. So our member companies, they come and they are licensed with DMCC, and they operate in the JLT area. And our member companies have some amazingly innovative ideas on not only how DMCC can provide a better service, but also how, as a free zone, everyone can work better together. Then the third element to innovation is how we've restructured the organization. And we've recently, in our commodities stream, set up an innovation hub, which is what you might call a research and development team, where they're looking at where is the next story in commodities. How can DMCC provide a platform for people to trade on a global scale in the future? And always, again, trying to keep that one step ahead. But employee satisfaction and client satisfaction is ultimately our aim.
Just on the innovation hub, is that some sort of separate team of researchers and analysts, or is this a sort of space where employees and customers can come together for briefings or discussions? What is the hub?
It's actually both. So we have a dedicated team of employees who are tasked with that research and analysis. But also we have quite a what you call an open conversation with our member companies, but also we're getting out on a global stage and doing thought leadership programs. And our most recent one was Made for Trade, where we've been going around key countries within Europe and Asia to be thought leaders in trade for the future.
Okay, so we can come back to some of those lessons that you've taken from around the world. I think that might be quite an interesting area to discuss. But if I can move Salman to Emirates Global Aluminium. So I know that you also have a sort of employee suggestion program.
That's correct.
Is it similar to what Susanna just described?
Not very dissimilar. I think where we are different, that we've been doing this since 1979. Our suggestion schemes have evolved to a degree that we have to date something like in excess of 200,000 suggestions with a net audited saving of $70 million. I mean, this is published.
$70 million over what time
American
period?
dollars, yes. Yes, over this period of time.
Okay, so
since the beginning of
the suggestion program has saved $70 million. Wow.
And that is at two levels. One is at the employee level, where the employee himself identifies his environment. He goes to his supervisor, and there is a panel within the supervisory level, and they decide At the next tier level, we have across teams. So you have different departments, different divisions where they collaborate. And of course, it's a bigger step of improvement and a bigger gain. And at this level, what we do, we actually share what the company is saving with the team. So this is the three
Okay,
steps.
so it's an incentivized suggestion scheme.
It's an absolutely
That's-
incentivized.
That's really a sign of leadership taking innovation very seriously. I mean, the fact that you're
Absolutely.
measuring these savings and then announcing them,
Yes.
it shows that it's not just,
No,
uh,
it's not just a marketing,
it's not just a marketing
glossy
thing.
paper.
It's very serious.
And it's audited as per the financial standards,
Wow.
and it's all recorded. And those savings from the area where the improvement is actually that is removed from the next year's budget. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
a real
Okay.
thing which is happening. But also at the third level, and most people don't realize this, that UAE is doing, an EGA is research and development, and we have our own proprietary, not just one, but number of technologies which we have successfully sold outside UAE, and it's a big revenue generator. It's not just that it has huge impact on P&L accounts, and also on our strategy of what we want to do.
That's quite an interesting thing for a you don't think of the GCC as being a centre for industrial proprietary technologies. So for EGA to be producing proprietary technology and exporting it or selling it, that's quite important, I think, for the region. Does that come out of, which came first? Was it this the suggestion program, or the culture of innovation, or does the being set up as a research hub
I think if
become
we try to find the turning point, it originally started back in the early 80s as a suggestion scheme, and as these people grew with the company, this culture they brought up with them. I mean, for example, we have a large number of UAE nationals and expatriates who have crossed 25 years with the company. So this has come from grassroots upwards.
But is that from what I have seen, people hire in outside consultants to
you can do that.
introduce innovation and change.
Yeah.
But you're saying actually it's been successful at EJ with people who are, I guess, emotionally bought into the company. They've been there for
Emotionally, technically, and experience-wise, these are we are extremely privileged to. These are the industry experts. To give you a small example, I mean, if we have a big gas turbine installed, somebody like GE would come in, install it, and leave. But some of the innovation our team does on the how you start it up, how do you maximize the efficiency, how you reduce the CO2, sometimes even breaks the nameplate rating of GE.
Oh, really?
And they are here locally available for you. And then they come back and learn from us. So this
Wow.
has been going on for a very, very long time.
And so does that, how important, you talked about the incentivization, when people across the company can come up with suggestions that lead to savings, and that can be redistributed amongst the team. So for that kind of efficiency improvement, is that coming from the people who are directly working with the turbine, or is it coming from up on high?
At all levels. So as I explained, one is at the employee level, where he's controlling his sphere of influence. The next one is a team level, we go across. And the third one is at the corporate level, where you need massive research and development. So it goes both ways. The most important part is that the leadership and the shop floor are completely aligned. There is no disagreement. I mean, the leadership has such an important role to play in this, because without their consent and without their oversight and agreement, this will never nurture and never grow in a strong roots which it has today.